Welcome everyone for another episode of the Greatness Engineering Hour show. It is a pleasure to have you. We had an interesting conversation, an interesting and very inspiring show a few hours ago. We were in the US and we're staying in the US this time again. And we also going to talk about sport again. So you are going to be, it's going to be a cracker, I think, to actually, have, another conversation on a sport that we don't really know here in Australia, so the NFL. And today I have Washington-based and Washington native entrepreneur and businessman, Dr. Richard Myles. He is the CEO and founder of the nation only professional minor football league. So we gotta really, have the opportunity to discover what is this minor, football league, and really what are the opportunity that this league is creating, and what is the impact that this league is creating, not only in the US, but I foresee that it's going to create also an opportunity worldwide. So sit tight and let us know if you're watching live. Let us know where you're watching from. Even if you watch the show later on, let us know where you're watching from. And don't hesitate to come in and to be part of the conversation. If you have any question, anything, that you want to share with us, that's okay. It's just really, what we want here in this platform. And this show is actually co-sponsored by She Exists, and it's at part of the sponsorship with She Exists that we have Mr. Dr. Richard Myles with us. And I want to really, call out to the Queen, Janelle Harris, for really making this possible. My name is Mireille. You probably know me by now, Mireille Tulekima, all the way from Perth, Australia. You know me as the Greatness Engineer, and this platform was, started by the Mireille Tulekima Global Leadership Organization. So I'm not going to make you wait, long. We're just going to bring Dr. Myles with us and really start to discover, especially for my audience in the US, what is the minor football league. So don't go anywhere. We are starting now. Another episode of the Greatness Engineering Hour show, the show that is brought to you by the Mireille Tulekima Global Leadership Organization.
Feel is important is if you just look at the word compassion, when it's behavior, it's something that can be learned, and it is something that we can embody through habits and through our daily actions.
To get this idea that if we interject this wisdom intentionally, I call them needle movers. It's the needle mover that's missing.
Don't deprive the world of your greatness. Please. Don't do that anymore. Dare to excel, dare to be sexy, dare to be you, dare to be the best version of yourself. Impact yourself positively, and from there impact others. And you are not alone.
So, welcome, Dr. Myles, to the Greatness Engineering Show. It is a pleasure to have you. And I'm really excited about, when, I was really getting ready to get into this interview. I was already so excited. But before the excitement goes too far, just want you to, add to what I've just, said about you. So, just let us know who you are and what are the key things that you think we should know about you.
Absolutely, and thank you for having me. I'm Dr. Richard Myles Sr., CEO, Chairman, Founder of the Minor Football League. The Minor Football League is the laboratory of change. And when I say the laboratory of change, I want people to know we want to make the playing field level. We want to bring former players from the field to the front office. Also, we want people of color to understand what generational wealth is, also what economic development is. As you know, as people of color, we're the biggest consumers in America, um, and we have nothing to show for it. So we want to kind of make the playing field level.
Hmm. That's a very important thing, and I think it's such especially in the U.S. it's such a crowded, competitive, and very I would say crazy world that it's sometimes very difficult, especially if you are a minority, to find a space and to find a platform to be able to express yourself and to be able to, what I always said, step into this greatness that you have, unleash it. And it's good that we have people like you creating those platform to help the really fill the gap that exists. But one question that I have, Dr. Myles, how did it start? I mean, how did it come about? Because we have the big NFL, and you come up with the minor. How do you compete with that? And what was the thought process going through this? The creation of this league and really the objective in here.
Absolutely. Uh, as you know, we are people of color. The MFL is, and I stated laboratory of change, but what brought about this, the NFL had 32 franchises, right? And there's thousands of universities around the country. Now you do the math. Everybody might be one in 2 or 3 million that you'll get a shot to play in the NFL.
Hmm.
Want young men to understand we see you, we hear you. And I tell them all the time, it's not that you're not good enough to play in the NFL, it's not enough room. So it has to be a developmental league. You have in basketball, you have D-League basketball, minor league baseball, never minor league football. Now, you have
Hmm.
groups call themselves semi-pro. There's no such thing as semi-pro. Either you're pro or you're not. That was just a
Hmm.
term people use to justify saying love football. So this was a dream of mine because I dared to be different. And I said, why not a minor league system where men can come, and will they still be relevant? It give them an opportunity, provide an opportunity you don't find outside of college or professional football. So that's what's the thought process of me forming this league.
Fantastic, and I think it is like you said. You are pro, you are not. You can't be something in between. So it's important to to bring this type of spirit, especially in the youth and our minority youth. I mean, it's the same here. We have all the indigenous, indigenous people as well, trying to find a way, and it's sometimes very difficult for them to really find this to have those opportunity. So it's important that we start creating those platform ourselves and really start to mentor, coach, and bring those talent out there and to promote as well. So and one thing that I really wanted to understand, is it coming also from a personal experience, or is it something what was the breakthrough? Because obviously, yes, there's this need as well, but you also have to be ready, the mindset and ready, because it's not easy, to go against, what's it's established, which is, the NFL really well established, and then bringing this new project and attracting the right people to really, get it going.
Absolutely. And as you know, well, I played since I was a little boy from, junior high school to high school to college. And I had an opportunity to play in the National Football League. But it's not really about the National Football League. It's about the MFL because it's
Mm-hmm.
not about what you did. It's what you're doing now. And I just want to make it clear also, the MFL is more than just, it's a laboratory of change. We have programs,
Mm-hmm.
have work with young kids, no thugs, no drugs, early youth offenders program, conflict resolution, young entrepreneur program. So, and these are the types of things the league do. And, we have 32 franchises across the country. Also, we have 16 franchises in Africa. So you see,
Mm-hmm.
this is really big, but more importantly, as you know, the NFL is 79% African Americans, but we have no owners there. We have no
Yeah.
GMs there. But in the this is where the minor football league differ. At you have an opportunity to own a franchise here. You have an opportunity to be a GM here. You have an opportunity to get an opportunity to coach here. So see, we have to understand about money and how it works. And
Mm-hmm.
why people have money because generational wealth. We need to learn how to pass the wealth down to generations. That way, we will never we will have an opportunity to stay uh, uh, um, with money through our family as opposed to spending everything all the time. So we have to learn. We definitely have to learn and understand money and economic development. That's very important, and that's something I stress all the time.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And you're right because always very amazing the wrong way how people don't really understand and don't see the need of understanding economics and wealth and really even when they don't understand educating themselves and getting reaching out to the platforms like your platform to really get the knowledge and start actioning on whatever they get there and whatever knowledge that they can get to create this generational wealth. And it is amazing that especially, and we see it a lot over the globe in the African American community, but the African community as well, we see very few people really creating this generational wealth that will benefit not only their families but also their own the global community of Black people. And it is about time that we bring this this type of spirit and this type of knowledge to them. And I like the fact that you're saying that you have this franchise and it can start everywhere. And that's the beauty of it. So we're gonna have a small break, and we will be back continuing this really insightful and inspiring conversation. And if you just joining us today, my guest is the founder of the Minor Football League, and we are having a very insightful conversation. So I encourage you to have your pen and paper to note things, and hopefully after we finish, you have some knowledge that you can apply or you can connect back to the guest to get more insight. But for now on, it's just a short break, and we will be back in a few minutes. So we are back. We are back with Dr. Miles, and we are talking about the minor football league, which is not just about sport, which is about it's a full platform integrating knowledge as well and educating, coaching especially the young generation and giving them opportunity to really learn about generational wealth and really becoming wealthy themselves in the process, hopefully. So that's really what we're talking about. And one question that I have, Dr. Miles, is really to understand, based on what your experience with the minor, league, what are the key challenges that you see bringing this project to the to the community or to your to the people that you want to help, and what are the key things, what are the key mechanism that you think would work to really push it forward?
Absolutely. First and foremost, we like the different communities and municipalities understand that we're not coming to take anything from them. We come to we want to add, we want to enhance what they're doing with the players. These are players from that area. These not guys come from all over, and you only see them game time. These guys have to do 100 hours of community service. In terms of what you were saying about the mistrust, I think the big challenge is with us, we don't trust one another.
Hmm.
People of color do not trust each other. And that's sad because we'll trust other people, but we won't trust each other. So that's something we have to get rid of that. We have to understand that, concepts would make you successful in life. People with money don't have a concept, and people with concept don't have money. So generally, what happens? The people with the money buys the concept. But when you do that, you gave away all your rights to what you had and what you created. So I tell people right now, believe in each other, trust each other, just like uh, people of color. We have to understand it's $2 trillion a year go through our hands, and we have nothing to show for it because we have to learn to keep the money in our community. We have to understand what Black Wall Street was. It was real. And that's something that because we're not educated in terms of money and how it works, we kind of we lose sight on the main focus of it. So this here, sports is $1 trillion a year industry. We play it, we participate in it, but we don't profit from it. And that's something I'm trying to get them to understand. People in general, let us come in the community. We do feasibility studies all over the country, but people still are still afraid, to trust in us.
Yeah, and that's a big one. That's a big one. The trust that we don't have, towards each other. But it's also, I mean, the domestication in a way, how we have been, how we are raised, and how the environment in which we. And it comes down to year before, and that's where the coaching and the mentoring is very important to really clean up, the inside to bring, something else, and this, believe in ourselves, because I think if we don't trust others, it's because we don't believe in ourselves. And when you don't believe in yourself, you actually afraid of others, because you always see them as enemies, or and it can become really, I call it is a disease in a way. So, and that's and we need to find the cure of for this disease, and really get our people out there to change this mindset, and really go to the next level. And that's why I always talk about greatness, where I always say we have it, but then what do we do with it? And let's use it and go forward. So what was the what I say, just show tell us how the journey, how it started, because I can imagine it didn't start out of nowhere. You probably had this idea, and then what were the key steps to bring you to this level, and also what's next as well for this tremendous platform that is expanding in around the world now.
Absolutely. Well, the challenge was no one wanted to believe in me because people don't believe in your dream. Your dream is your dream, and I understand that. So I used my money when I started out because I was a little arrogant too, and I told people the MFL gonna go with or without them. And sometimes people want to see if you can do it. People to sit back, people watch you, but they want to see what you do. I even talked to a few friends of mine that played in the league, and I asked them to come with me, and they said no. Well, they their girlfriend was opening up nail salons or whatever. One friend of mine, good friend of mine, he did come with me. Bobby Wilson, he was the Redskins' #1 draft choice in '91, and we just lost him 4 months ago. He passed, but he did come. He said, "Well, if I don't play because he was injured." He said, "I'm coming with you because I believe in what you're doing." And it's hard to get people to believe in what you're doing. The problems that I had, that people didn't want to believe you, and then people didn't want to trust you. And I tell people all the time, because you're my complexion, that don't make you my kind, and you know that. So I pushed on, and I was determined that I was going to see this thing do. And right now, by the help of the Lord, it's now people see it. We've been around a long time. A lot of people don't can believe it. When they call the offer, they ask, "Is this real? This can't be real," because we are not supposed to be able to do the things that I'm doing, you're doing, and several people like ourselves. I dare to be different. See, I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem in a man that don't go far will never know how far he can go. And I tell people all the time, I'm going. I'll worry about getting back when I get there, but I'm gonna do so good, there won't be no need for me to come back. That's the mindset that I always had.
Fantastic. And it is, you have to, you have to have this mindset, because there are obstacles all the way. Like you said, when you start, nobody believes, you have this dream, exactly where you want to go, but it's just so difficult, especially in a community that is broken, to really have, people to believe in what you're trying to do. And when I mean, obviously you go through those obstacles and you become, successful. What are the challenges now? Because you probably have, a lot of them as well. The same people who didn't believe and didn't want to go and see you succeed. What do they do now? What are the challenges that you have to go through? Because it's another level. So just let us know a little bit about what you face as a successful person with your project.
Absolutely. The more you do, the more you have to do. And then you always have to reinvent yourself, as you know. Now, I started out with just doing a little podcast, and next thing I know, a TV station asks and say, "Hey, bring your show here." Now I start off with one show. Now I have two on DC Radio, Inside the MFL, and then also have Game Time. So people see and they believe. I always say documentation be conversation. People don't want to hear about what you're doing; they want to see it. And right now, they begin to see it. And I never slow down. I keep pushing forward, because when you feel like you can relax, all kinds of things go wrong. We get ready to go on the road. Going to the different colleges. We've been in Virginia, down in Virginia Union, a Saturday, and then we go into different schools. I met with all the presidents of the HBCUs. I met with all the top clergymen in the country. So they have been very, very. First, they had to get this chance to understand, and I always like to get people in different areas, because and I know, if you don't know somebody like from the South End, if you don't know Johnny, uncle, brother, you don't get nothing done in the South. Don't care how good your program is, they just not trusting at all. So, I had great people that helped me, and believe me, I tell people all the time, you need help. It's not money all the time. It's just someone getting the opportunity to believe in what you're doing. And I think that's the biggest challenge of it all.
And I like what you're saying. It's not just money. You have to have someone who will be leading, because sometimes, and we see it with a lot of entrepreneurs. And I'm I've journeyed into entrepreneurship as well. Is that when they come to, I don't have enough money, that's why I'm not successful. But the network is very important. The networking with the right people, reaching out to the right people, and also what you said, which is very important. You have to be seen. You have to be seen. If people don't see you, it's difficult to create this trust that we've been talking about. And you have to put yourself out there. It's a lot of effort, but you have to do it, and that's very important. And even for to stand as an inspiration for the next generation of we're talking about trust in our community. If they see it, they see someone who looks like them, succeeding and trailblazing through a journey, they will try to emulate because they know it's possible, and that's when the trust really starts. So thank you, Dr. Myles, for really reminding all those key things. We're gonna have another break, and we will be back to continue and really understand. Really want to understand, what's the way forward, in this legacy of starting the minor football league, and also what are the key steps that you see going forward. So don't go anywhere. For my audience, we are going to be back. Don't move. It's getting very interesting, and I know that you're all already getting inspired. So see you. It's actually the result of a long journey in the oil and gas industry, working worldwide. And so I've been in this industry for 20 years. And like Deborah was saying, there's a big significance in the 20 years, because I got in this industry because I lost my dad. And at some point I just had to stop going to school. I had my bachelor. I stopped because I had to find a job, and then I got into the industry. But I managed to discover the industry and really like it. So this book is really represent a lot for me. I dedicated it to my dad, actually, and also really putting together all that I've learned working in the industry as well. So through this journey, what I really realized is that when you really want something, you have to go and get it. And going and get it doesn't mean just sit down, have the idea. It's also just put a plan, implement it. Really have to start going and inform the young generation that there are opportunities, and they should actually try to embrace some of those technical career in the oil and gas industry, and that's something that needs still to be done and strategized and start really at a very young age, because it's the industry is growing in Africa, so we will need the workforce, and it's So we are back. We are back with Dr. Myles, and if you are joining us, we are in the U.S. today, and we're talking about the Minor Football League, which is an amazing project. And I hope you have the opportunity to inquire a little bit more when we're finished, because obviously in such a short time you can't, get all the information about this project. And Dr. Myles, just wanted to know, because you've like I said, you've accomplished so much. You've been, running this for, decades now. So what's really, what's next? What's still to be, to be done to actually bring it to the next level?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question because we went into Florida and some reporters asked me. They said, this is nice, Dr. Miles, but we never heard of the minor football league. So I said,
Mhm.
China had 1 billion people, and I guarantee you, not one of them ever heard of you. So what did that mean? And I said, well, why are y'all here if you didn't hear about us? But what my goal is, and it's long term at best, but I want to get people of color to own franchises. They have to understand. Well, it's good to work for people, but one thing about owning your own business, as you know, you're not gonna fire yourself. You work
Mhm.
hours and stuff. So you want to be able to pass it down. So I like to see all the franchise sold to people of color. Where or people ask me, y'all trying to be like the NFL? No, they who they are, and we who we are, and we can do the same thing that other companies do. And the way to go is franchising. That way you have something that you can pass generation to generation and to stay in your family. So that's the ultimate goal of the MFL.
Fantastic. And I think sometimes people also, they're like, oh, you want to do like you have to, I mean, if it works, why not, use that and enhance it? It is there, and if it works and it can actually help, solve a problem that you're trying to solve, why not, and that's something that you can do, and you can add your own, authenticity, obviously, and that can, drive, the whole process. And as you said, we are individual, we have our own, basically own greatness, and we just have to use it. And then we need coaching, obviously, and mentoring, to be able to, especially for the young generation, to be able to really message it and really, make something of it. So that's really, an important thing to know. And and there's just a question that I always, like to ask my guest. And because most of them have, started from really nothing, their project, to, becoming what they are, who they are today, having really a great influence, is, what is the legacy, that you want to leave? What type of legacy do you want to leave, really, as you journey still into all of this?
Well, the legacy is we just almost similar copy of the NFL, but as you notice, we say all the time, our tag is the laboratory of change. You have to have change. The NFL is who they are; they're not going to change, and they don't have to. You know what I mean? But the great thing about us, legacy is leaving. I had 17 grandkids and 5 great grandkids, so
uh,
legacy is there. Of course, the league itself will be there with my family, but the legacy part of it is to see that people of color. Now, don't get me wrong, this is not the Negro leagues now. I mean,
mhm,
but we want people of color to own these franchises, and we're no different from any other nationality. As you see, all the owners in the NFL is what a Caucasian. So, and we're not racist by no means, but it's time for us to understand generational wealth. It's time for us to understand economic development, and more importantly, what legacy is. This is legacy right here. I'm doing something that will never be done again. You know,
mhm.
never be done again. So we got to grab this, hold this legacy, and continue with the pass down. Because in the families, because this will be the MFL will be here, and it's something I said a long time ago. With the MFL, we're gonna go with it without help, and we
Mhm.
decades later, we still hit by the help of the Lord. So that's the legacy I want to leave behind, and I want people to also realize if I can do it, you can do it.
And I love that if I can do it, you can do it. And that's what I always say to, especially to women, being a woman who mostly worked in a male dominated environment and in a sector that is not really, where we see a lot, a lot of women progressing to the top is that, if I can do it, you can do it. You have to believe in yourself and do the work. And like I said, network as well. We mentioned that and have a long-term vision and, so that you're not stopped by these short-term obstacles that are put in front of you because they are there for a reason and we need to just work with it and be focused because I think that sometimes the problem we get distracted by whatever is happening, that whatever people are saying, and we forget that we have this dream and we should focus on going forward, even if it's a short step, we just get to go to the next level. So before we leave, I just gonna have another break again, and hopefully get the last message that you want to leave the audience, all this audience watching you from Australia, from Africa, even see a friend from Malaysia watching. So just leave us with this message. But before, I just want to have this.
Hello, Dr. Myles, inside the MFL, Laboratory of Change, quote by Dr. Richard Myles. I enjoy partnering with you. It's been a pleasure. Your platform is amazing. It's classy and it's real. Thank you for having the She Exists magazine team, and thank you for being a part of our collaboration, giving us content from sports, but giving us content from what's real, what's authentic, what's meaningful, what's of substance. I thank you, especially to know that She Exists magazine is now in the DMV area. We are back with amazing content, and it is a pleasure to partner with you, with Kelsey Nichols, just with the entire journalist team. I'm excited. And thank you, Marielle, for always supporting us here at the She Exists magazine. I know I've been away for a minute, just working on some health challenges, but there is nothing that God would not fix or do for his saints. Again, Dr. Myles, it is a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed the amazing Marielle on this show. I thought about you, and Marielle is in Australia. She has the entire European market. She has the Australian market, Belgium, Netherlands, so many more good things is to come. That is my partner. With all love, Marielle, thank you so much. And Dr. Myles has a cover coming up. 2024 is going to be exciting with some amazing covers, talent, artists, and great content. We do what we do, and more to come in the Washington, D.C. area. Again, thank you, Dr. Myles, for bringing me on the D.C. radio show, embarking with your family, with your D.C. communications. Love it. It's all joy. Thank you. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Fantastic. So we had the one and only Janelle Harris, the CEO of She Exists, CEO of She Exists magazine. And it has been, a pleasure to see this platform grow again. And she's been a partner for 4 years now. And started the baby step, and that's why I was it's really good to have you tell your story as well, because I've just saw it in front of me with She Exists, and it's been a hell of a journey. So I mean, first your reaction to this, and then what is the key message that you want to leave us with?
Well, first of all, I want to thank Janelle. She's a really beautiful, hearted person. She's so nice. Work with her, and when I just met her, you could just meet someone, and you can know a person all your life and never know that person at all, and you could just meet people and seem like you've been knowing them all the time. So I work with her all the time. I love her. She's good people. My family all care about it. So, thank you so much, Janelle. And my message I want to leave for people. First of all, the MFL, we have women GMs here. I'm looking to have women owners, and I want women to know we have a place at the table for you. We see you, we want you. We want you to understand. Don't worry about money in terms of buying the franchise because we're going to finance it ourselves to make sure that you're successful in this journey if you choose to own a franchise here. But what I want to leave with people is this: it's good to make yourself uh, visible where people can make sure people know when you come in the room. They don't necessarily have to know when you leave the room, but they're gonna know you was there. Also, people to talk about you when you're not in the room. Sometimes you're not gonna be able to get in the room, but when you have people to talk about you, then people gonna want you in that room. So that's what I want to leave, and I want to thank you so much for having me on the show and giving us an opportunity with our platform. And hopefully, I can get you on my show. Of course, I'm not gonna let you get away because I want you on our show as well.
Fantastic.
I just want your listener audience, and thank you so much.
So it's been a pleasure. And before we leave, just want to know, how do people connect with you? Because obviously, in such a short time, it's really difficult to have detail about the MFL. So how do people can connect with you and reach out to you if they want to to know a little bit more and maybe get involved and get a franchise as well?
Absolutely. Our website is mflishere.com. mflishere.com. We're on all the social media platforms. Our email is on there. You call. Don't be surprised if you get me sometimes because I'm one that I'm a hands-on type of person as well. I like talking to people, and I'm a storyteller as well. So, and I would love to, talk to speak with them, correspond with them.
Fantastic. And so thank you for everything, Dr. Myles. But there is another surprise here with us. So this is Janelle. She's here. She joined us from Florida. And so welcome, Janelle. You are you created all of this. So now, the floor is yours.
Wow, wow. Thank you. We're all about surprises. Thank you so much, Dr. Myles, Medio. Thank you. One of the reasons why I did that is because I like to give back, especially when someone has opened their door, laid out their platform. And I must say, Marielle and I, we go way back. We collaborate, and I utilize her platform for some of my guests, but only the guests of the greatest engineering, and we like to bring quality to the table. So I say this, I came to the DMV area, and Dr. Myles has done nothing but amazing things for the She Exists magazine window. He's opened up his platform. I mean, connections, down in Las Vegas, and picks up the phone and make those calls. He's in the trenches, and I wanted to give back tenfold. I know we're not in this of who does this or competing, but this is what we do as a community. And I needed to expand the MFL to Australia, to the European market, because we're just getting started, right, Marielle? We're doing some amazing things in the magazine. So again, this is just the tip of the iceberg, Dr. Myles. This is how we get down. And this is something. Welcome to our community.
Fantastic, fantastic. And it's really what we were talking about trusting each other and working together. And that's just translating in the three of us here. And it's not just talking about it. You have to live it, and you have to show it, because that's the most important thing for people to actually believe that it's possible. And I just want to thank you again, Janelle, for being, really this, agent of change.
Thank
and
you.
bringing, all the community with you. And thank you, Dr. Myles, for, for the insight and the inspiration that you brought here. And we definitely gonna, bring this MFL, to the world. And like Janelle was saying, this show is global. It's going to everywhere in Europe, in Australia, first in this part of the world, Asia, Africa, and Europe. So it is, it is already out there. And we're really so happy to know about this project because it's just it's going to transform the youth and also women, because I heard that you're asking for women. So all my audience here, women who are ambitious and really want to be part of this project, please get in contact with Dr. Myles, and the website is here for more information. And if you can't, you can always go through me, and I will pass on the message and connect you. So thank you so much for an amazing show today, so I will be back again for another episode of the Greatness Engineering Hour show next week. And I hope that you will be joining and be part of the conversation. Thank you again, Dr. Myles, for your time and for everything that you do for the community, and for and now it's going to be for the world, because this impact is going places. So thank you so much, and I'll stay in contact anyway. So bye for everyone. And as I always said, step into your greatness, unleash this greatness, and don't leave anything on the table of life, because each day you have something that you can grab. Don't leave it on the table. Just grab it and get going. So that's the end, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you.